Now, I was reading a bit about Camille Paglia the other day, and I've noticed some similarities between, she's a famous gadfly, I would say, of feminists, of classic modern feminists, although she would regard herself as a feminist. She's unbelievably smart. Like, if you want to watch someone who's verbally, who has verbal mastery beyond belief, it's, you can watch Camille Paglia. She seems a little manic to me. She can wrap off an argument at a rate that's just mind-boggling, and it's very coherent, and you know, she tends to shred her opponents in arguments. She's so brilliant. She said something interesting, and she's been influenced by some of the same people that I've been influenced by. She liked this book by Erich Neumann called The Origins and History of Consciousness, which I would recommend if you're interested in Jungian theory, Carl Jung. It's a good introduction to Jungian theory, and it's about the development of consciousness. And it's predicated, like Jung's work and Joseph Campbell's work and Mircea Eliade's work, all of which has been criticized or ignored by the postmodernists, predicated on the idea that human beings have a central narrative, and that central narrative is the dramatic expression of the necessary human system of values, and that's built into us. It's part of our nature. We have a nature as human beings. We're not infinitely malleable by culture, which is a postmodernist claim, and a dangerous one. It's dangerous if we have a nature. Paglia has this idea that the reason that you come to university and you study the humanities, or the proper reason if you do that, is not to engage in premature and destructive criticism of something that you don't even yet understand, but to learn as much as you can about art and literature and poetry and drama and fiction and religious thinking. And this is all a kind of a, you can think about it as a, what is that? What is all that? It's art, you know, it's culture. Music belongs in that category. And like, what the hell, what about music? It's like everyone loves it, or almost everyone. It's a mystery. You listen to music and it's very meaningful. I mean, music gets people through some pretty dark times. Why? It's not obvious, that's for sure. You know, and in most cultures, music plays a very central role in identity formation, and you guys, I think you'll probably find as you age that your favorite music will be the music that you listen to between the ages of 16 and 20. It's kind of like it imprints on you, and it defines maybe that defines a generation. And maybe, you know, in our tribal past, and this is highly likely, when you were being inculcated into the tribal culture, that was inculcated with dance and with masks and with music all at the same time. So you're invited to participate in this drama and to take your place in this drama, and to think of that as a representation of the objective world is just not right. That isn't what it is. It's an invitation to a drama. Now then the question might be, well, is the drama real? And the answer to that is, it depends on what you mean by real. I think that great dramas are more real than real. They're hyper real. They're hyper real because they provide guidelines about how to act that are abstract and even perhaps generic, but applicable across an extraordinary broad range of situations.
So in the realm of free speech, I just was curious about your thoughts on the backlash received by Professor Jordan Peterson on the University of Toronto campus, if you heard of the issue.
No, I haven't. Can you want to tell us a little bit?
Basically, he is in opposition of Bill C-16, and basically his refusal of using gender pronouns on the campus has received an enormous backlash, and there's videos on YouTube to sort of document.
This professor professor refused to use the pronouns that
Yes.
are being requested or demanded by transgender activists.
Yes.
Okay, well, more power to him, okay, is what I say, okay? This is getting ridiculous, okay? My PhD is in English literature, okay, from Yale, right? And I do not, and it's fine. Contribute to the language, okay? Write a poem, okay? Write a book, okay? Certainly, okay? Look at the way Gloria Steinem, her one great accomplishment is that she was a co-founder of Ms. Magazine, okay? All right, and there was a very important contribution made by Ms., okay? Because before this, unlike the Romance languages, in English, you had Mrs. or Miss, okay? So if you were unmarried at age 40, 50, 60, you were still called Miss in this very demeaning way. Whereas in France, okay, a young girl is called Mademoiselle. In the minute a woman, a person gets into her 20s, and after that, she's called Madame. Okay, whether she's married or unmarried, Madame, she has dignity, she has authority, right? And the same thing in Italian. You have your signorina if you're young, and then signora if you're old. It doesn't matter if you're married or unmarried. Okay, so Ms. was a very important contribution to the language. It took time to be absorbed. Okay, but this political agitation to change everyday common speech, are you kidding me? Okay, all right, people shouldn't be putting up with this for 1 second. What kind of nonsense is this? Absolute nonsense, okay? And these people who are searching for their own identity, okay, and want to impose on others, that is not my philosophy of the libertarian. That is an invasion and intrusion into other people's personal rights. So excuse us, the English language is owned, okay, by everyone, okay? It was created by great artists, Chaucer and Shakespeare, and Wordsworth and Joyce and so on. How dare you sniveling little, maniac, tell us how we're going to use pronouns. Go take a hike, I say to them. Okay, that's what I say. Okay, all right.